Hey everyone! It's been a while, huh? First off, yeah, I kinda disappeared for a bit. Life got busy, I had school stuff, and honestly, I hit a wall with my game. And by the way, I changed the style of my videos. I made new illustrations to make it a bit more fun and unique. I hope you like it. Back to the important stuff, I've been working on this game for months and I liked it quite a bit. But now that I'm returning to work on it and looking back at my old code, let's just say it's a mess. A messy code is a vicious cycle. If you take a break from game development for a week or so, you forget what the code was for. If you forget what the code was for, you're really confused and don't feel like writing it at all. And that makes you take a break even longer, which makes the code even more confusing, and it just continues like that. So I've decided, I'm redoing all the code from scratch. Well, not exactly everything, but a huge chunk of it. Why? Because I want this game to be the best it can be. Clean, optimized, and actually fun to build again. I've got new ideas, better systems, and a clearer vision now. Hopefully. There are two major problems with my game: the save system and the battle system. Basically, my save system is a burning dumpster barely held together by, well, at this point, I don't know how it's holding up even. The problem with messy code is that when you leave it for a while and return, you have no idea what the heck is going on. And one of my worst coding habits is never leaving comments to explain the mess. So I'm writing it again. This time, I'm setting up a clear system before I start typing nonsense, and I think I have an idea for how this might work. My goal for the save system is a checkpoint system that's commonly used in indie RPG games. There are checkpoints scattered across the map, and you must interact with them to save your progress. To achieve this, I'll be using two main save scripts: the save point script, which is a small script that detects player interaction and triggers the save function, and the main script, which contains the save function itself, and where all the data is stored in the form of player prefs. Player prefs are Unity's built-in way to store small amounts of data like the player's name, level, or settings. It's super easy because once you save it as a player pref, the data will persist even when the player closes and reopens the game. But it's not encrypted and all, so it may not be suitable when you're handling sensitive data. Anyway, since my indie game only has to save simple things, I'll be using player prefs as the main way to save information. But the save system isn't the only problem. As I mentioned, the battle system is a burning dumpster fire too, for different reasons. The code is alright, but it's just not fun, not unique or dynamic enough. Some games thrive even without dynamic battle systems, like Omori. My favorite game, Undertale, has a battle system that may be simple at first, but the simplicity allows a vast assortment of unique and extremely creative attack patterns, which end up being insanely fun. But I feel like mine needs something more. I was imagining a grid-based system where the player dodges attacks while collecting points, but the grid really restricts the attacks I can program. So I started brainstorming a whole new system. I was inspired by the camera angle of old Street Fighter games and the dynamic movement of platformer games to come up with an idea I was comfortable with. First, the player must dodge incoming boulders by jumping, double jumping, sliding, or staying in place. At the same time, it must attack any enemies that are blocking the track. Once a course is completed, there is the boss fight. There are no longer approaching borders or enemies, just a fixed boss that shoots bullets or something like that. I'm thinking of unique attack patterns for each boss. The game mechanic isn't really one of a kind. It's actually a mix of pretty common mechanics, but I think what's most important is making it enjoyable, not necessarily unique. I can make my game feel unique through things like art, music, and small details in the battle that really make a difference. Of course, it's not completely polished yet, but after making the sprites, decorating the scene, and building the code, I finally got the battle system to work. It may look simple now, but as I build harder and more complex boss battles, hopefully it gets better. And I know it looks like Geometry Dash with the player sprite being so rectangular, but it's just a substitute for until I have the time to make complete player animations. And I also know that the boss looks kinda funky and the aesthetics aren't tied together well, and the attacks aren't varied. But I think this is good progress, and I'll be returning with a complete battle along with some new features in the next video. Thanks for watching, and it would support my game development project so much if you can leave a like and subscribe in just a few clicks. See you next time!